All right, hey, I'm Videobob, and this is the Fiat Abarth. Dodge Dart. This is a little 1.4 turbo, 4-cylinder. Took it out of a Fiat Abarth. They put it in the Dodge Dart, the early 2013s and 14s. The reason that happened is because, Daimler, Chrysler, Fiat, Dodge, all this changing hands of Dodge and Chrysler. Well, when Daimler Chrysler turned it over, sold it to Fiat, well, they just took one of their little Fiat cars and made it into the Dodge Dart, rebranded, refaced, redone a little bit. This is my wife's car. Bought this car basically new. It's got a turbo, it's got a wastegate on it. It's got a little open muffler on it. So she says that guys are always pulling up next to her, revving up on her, wanting to race her. She doesn't know why. Thing gasps for air as it's going down the road. Now it's missing the multi-air turbo cover. That's been taken off. We're going to show you how to change the oil on this thing because it's got a little weird oil situation with this car that uses a particular Euro oil that you've probably never seen in any other car. All right, we're going to get this thing up in the air. Go ahead and drain the oil out of it. It's weird. Up here is a little flap that says oil filter except 1.4. Well, that's what this car is, the 1.4. Now, if it wasn't the 1.4, you'd be able to take off this little nut, drop down this little flap, and you'd be able to access your oil filter. Doesn't matter. It's even easier to get to because on the 1.4, it's up top. Now, this thing is made out of plastic. This is made out of compressed fiberboard. So when you have a leak, it goes to crap. When you hit something, it goes to crap. Luckily, they're not crazy expensive, but don't be surprised if you're going to have to go up under this thing once in a while, check, and do some zip tying. We had to zip tie some stuff because basically they use these little, little clip nuts that go up in there, and it literally tears. It's literally paper. I mean, this is paper. What's cool though is back here we've got an oil drain cover. It's held in place with a little tiny nut, and we can get to the oil drain and drain the oil.
Yeah, that's right here.
Okay. I wish this was just a little longer. I wish this was a little bigger. Sounds like my wedding night. Is that a 13?
It's a 14.
It's a 14?
Or, no, it's a 13, actually.
Yeah, of course it's a 13. There's only two sizes ever used on modern cars, 10s and 13s. That's pretty much it. It's always a good chance while you got the car up in the air, inspect your CV joint boots, check your brakes, your bushings, your knuckles. This car doesn't have that many miles on it, so I know it's still in good shape. This driver sucks, dude. What is this? Throw this in the trash.
Okay.
This thing sucks. Ah! Seriously? How much pressure is this under? This made a huge mess. God dang it. My Rolex! I need a beach towel. Well, it's going in a lot better than it was. Get that little cover back on. This thing just slides up in here. Not really much to it. I don't even think you hardly even need that. Just a little.
Just in plastic. Yeah, that's good.
That's about all you need. All right, let's drop this thing back down. Okay, the oil filter is right down under this air intake, right down there. You can see it. And that's what we're going to be taking off and replacing. You need to have a nice, really long extension so that you can get to this thing. The prop rod for the hood is like right in your way. Couldn't be in a worse space. But that shouldn't be too tight. That shouldn't be that tight, but I guess it is.
Yeah, you tighten them until they stop.
Well, that's usually how tightening works.
Yeah. Well,
now the filter is going to be attached to the lid, and There it is, and I dripped all over this. So this is your internal cartridge filter. It's going to be snapped in there, and it just holds itself in like that. And we're going to dispose of that properly. All right, now we're using a filter here from CarQuest. Now for this car, it's an 84341 CarQuest. But basically, you don't have a lot to choose from these, made in South Korea. So you're gonna have this little seal here. You're gonna want to get like a little pick. You can really use just about anything, but just want to change that seal. And really, it's not, in my opinion, if you don't always change it, a lot of old guys are gonna be like, oh, you have to change it every time. There's really nothing wrong with that seal. But hey, since they're gonna give you one, might as well. And go ahead and clean it off. Make sure there's no debris. Make it nice and clean. Pop that other one on there. Try to lube it just a tiny bit if you can, if there's any oil laying around. Okay, your filter has these little notches. It's gonna snap in there. It's gonna hold itself in. That's how I put it in. And by hand, just put it back down into the cavity. Let it drop in there. And it'll just go right on. So easy peasy. I don't even need to show you this. This is so easy. This couldn't be easier. And then you just tighten it. Now remember, this is a plastic socket. This is an ABS plastic housing you're dealing with here. So don't go crazy with trying to tighten it. These don't run on super high oil pressure. You've got that rubber gasket seal there, that O-ring. So you just want to get it where it stops and then it's firm, right? There's no torque specification you need to deal with. Just like Cole said, you tighten it till it stops. Don't try to over tighten it. You will break it and you'll be sorry. Now let's talk about oil. This car uses the weirdest oil because you cannot find this oil at Walmart or most places. I usually am running around town going to all these different places trying to find the oil. I recommend if they sell this oil online, and if they do, I'm going to put a link to it like Amazon oil or something. I'll put it on there. But because it's a little weird, these are two different brands I have. Castrol Edge and the Pennzoil Premium Euro. It's a full synthetic 5W40. I've never seen that in any other engine. I just have never seen 540 used in anything. But this is what it uses, this is what it calls for, and don't deviate from that. Bottom line is, the 1.4 liter uses a 5W40. Something else I noticed about this car, I'm going to tell you. These motors burn oil. Doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with it. They just do, because they're little. They get all their power out of RPM, rather than having any girth for torque. Not a lot of torque. So the car is running high RPMs all the time. It's hot aluminum. They're running at high temperature. And I've found that this car, even though it doesn't smoke, doesn't leak a drop, I will put at least 1, if not 2 quarts of oil in this thing in between oil changes. And I usually like to do between 3,000 to 5,000 miles if I can. They say you can go 7, but here in hot Texas, I like to do no more than 5. One of the reasons I'm giving this video is if you go to one of these like Jiffy Lube places, don't trust them. Make sure they're using the correct oil. Make sure you see it. They're not going to have 540 coming out of their little pump system. You're better off pre-buying the oil and maybe just having them change it, pay them 20 bucks to do the service for you, and make sure that you buy your own. That's what I've always done with my specialty cars. Anyway, and if you have the ability to do your own oil change, this is a really easy car to do. On a couple of ramps, you could have done this really easily and quickly. Just want to mention, by the way, nothing I'm using today has been sponsored. The oil filter, the oil, nothing at all. Not sponsored by Dodge, Castrol, Pennzoil, any of these people. This is just the stuff that I bought for the video. I'm paying for all of this 100% on my own. All right, we're gonna start it up on the 4 quarts and see how much more it needs. It's within the hatch, so I'd say it's good. I think I'm going to run it for a little while like that. I'll check it again maybe tomorrow or maybe after a week or so and see how it's doing. It says it holds 4 quarts. We put 4 in it. Like I said, this car has a tendency to burn up the oil a little bit, but we're going to...
This?
Well, I had some over here. So which light is out?
This one right here.
So the hillside marker's out. And you have to get to it from the wheel well behind the bumper.
They really did hide it in there.
Yeah, I made it. This is a blinker fluid. This will help the lights be clearer. Yeah, you got to change your blinker fluid at least once a year. Just go into any auto parts store, AutoZone, O'Reilly's, and ask for blinker fluid. They'll get you some. I want to talk about the taillights on the Dodge Dart. Really cool. I mean, going down the road, you can barely tell the difference between a new Dodge Charger and the Dodge Dart. I love how the lights go through the center. But you'll see a lot of darts running around, and this part isn't working. Crazy enough, this is controlled by your taillight. I want to say the right one, could be the left one. I forget which one. But if your center lights aren't working, and I'll have to look into this, ask your dealer, but one light or the other, I think it might be the right light, has a little controller board in it that daisy chains all of these 3 lights together and makes them all work. And when we first got this car, it was slightly used. It had been in an accident. It had been repaired, and this center light wasn't working. And I did some research, and by replacing, and I think it was this one, they all worked. Just throwing this out there because if you're watching this video and you're a Dodge Dart owner, and maybe your lights aren't working, hey, bingo, now you know. That's the 2013 Dodge Dart with the 1.4 liter Fiat 4-cylinder multi-air turbo. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful for you in any way, please give it a like and maybe a comment. Check the description down below and I'll put links to the oil and the filter and any other things that we might have used in the video just to help you out find the stuff that you're looking for. And if this is the kind of stuff you like, hey, how about a subscription? Subscribe, click that subscribe button because we do lots of cool car videos and other cool stuff. Just for fun, go check out my other videos if you came here just for this car. We do things on the Rolls-Royce Phantom, the Back to the Future DeLorean Time Machine, Knight Rider, Ghostbusters, the A-Team van, and Jurassic Park, Blues Brothers, Scarface. We do movie cars and specialty cars, and then we travel all over the country. We hang out with guys like Tavarish, Hoovy from Hoovy's Garage, the Car Wizard, all those cool people like Watch JR Go and Rob Pitts, Rabbits Used Cars. We're all in the big family of YouTube car guys. So if that's the kind of stuff that you watch and you're into, then subscribe to this channel. Thanks so much for watching this video. I hope it helped you with your little piece of crap Dodge Dart. There she goes. Got it all nice and washed for her. Needs to turn the lights on. Turn your lights on. Turn the lights on.